Okay, who was it that said, I got money on my mind on my money? Money day, money. You know, I got money on my mind, thinking about money. Here we go. All right, guys. Love my Michael Jackson. Love him. All right. I saw something on CNN just a second ago. One of the things that Facebook does that's good is it talks about, sometimes they'll have these live reporting things where I think it was the United Nations. I'm trying to find it here. I might have missed it. But it was talking about this number, $38 billion. And I know you're like, Jonathan Fibonacci, will you stop talking about money? Like, well, I want to talk about money today. That's kind of today's theme. It says Israel will get $38 billion over 10 years. This is the Obama administration. And, I'm Jonathan Fibonacci, dude. I mean, who am I? I'm just a YouTube guy talking about all kinds of different stuff. Even talked about idols earlier. And I hate politics. And yet, there's that fine line between being willfully ignorant and then being uninformed. And I like to be informed. So I decided to go to Wikipedia and I'm like, okay, well, which countries does America give money to? I mean, and how much? Because if you think about it, we're the United States of America, and the 10th Amendment says that we should have the right to decide where our money goes. And I guess we have elected officials and they're supposed to spend some money for us. And I thought these numbers were interesting. Now, keep in mind that when the banks nearly destroyed this country, TARP, the bailout was $700 billion. $700 billion. And some statistics says that the big banks caused about $5 trillion of damage to this country. So I'm thinking, okay, well, it takes a lot of money to run a country. Did you know that we, as the United States, spend $3.4 billion? We just give it to foundations. To who? Where are those foundations that get $3.4 billion? And private and voluntary, 9.7. Interesting. University and colleges, 1.7. That's how much we give universities and colleges. Religious organizations gets $4.5 billion from the United States of America. Corporations, I think this is interesting, gets 4.9. Individual remittances to family members, 47 billion. Isn't that interesting? Now, the family members get most of the money. Now, who are these families? And they're getting $47 billion, and then we're giving $38 billion to Israel, which is a beautiful nation. But yet, here's kind of a Jonathan Fibonacci. Here's Lloyd Blankfein. I think that's his Blankenfein. I don't know who is this guy. He's the Goldman Sachs CEO. Now remember, his bank and other banks, they caused $700 billion in bailout, okay? And their fuck-ups really created 5 trillion with the T in damage. So this is what I would like to do, is I would like to get these smart people together. Henry Paulson, Bernanke, Schwartz, Blankenfein, and ask them, just kind of put them on a panel, kind of Charlie Rose style, and then put about, some kids on the other side of the desk and have these kids ask them questions. Well, how much is the United States giving your corporation? How much? And then let's put this data online in a transparent way. I mean, it's 2016, almost 2017. How come these numbers, and how come what we're giving other countries, how come that's not documented on a public website? I mean, how come I can't go to blankfein.com or .gov and go, well, who voted for this? And where's this $38 billion going? And then, this country could use some of that money. I mean, homelessness, African American education. Do you ever read where other countries give the United States money? And this individual remittances to family members, $47 billion. Man, that'd be a good documentary. Document where this money's going, $71 billion. And remember that time that we just kind of put a couple of $1 million in cash on a plane and we sent it to Iran, I guess, and you know, the thing is, this country, the corruption that's happening is so widespread and so blatant that this video might get 50 views, And look at the impact. And let's just put our United States Constitution and how we're supposed to vote and how and we have to look at taking care of our own country and what is the, you know, like what's the budget in San Francisco for homeless people, or in LA, or in Dallas? You know, it's real. We all want to talk about who we like as president and who we don't like as president. And I think that's a kind of an entertaining conversation. It's kind of a parlor trick conversation. But what I think is a better conversation, I think a more useful conversation, is to sit there and go, let's talk about corruption and how it's happening on every level of government, from municipalities all the way to the big cheese. And that we literally are having billions and billions of dollars given to other countries when this country, look at our currency. What's happening to our dollar? What's happening to our unemployment? These are the things that Jonathan Fibonacci talks about, wants to change. But you know what? All right, you guys be good. Money, baby. It's our idol. And yet we need it. You know, when I was homeless, I reached out to a really good buddy of mine. I said, dude, can you hit me a hotel? I really need a bath. And my college buddy's like, no, dude, I can't help you with the bath. And that was a Christian buddy, man. I went to Abilene Christian University. And, you know, there was a time I made over $200,000 a year, and there was a time I was homeless. And really wanting to have an intelligent, mature conversation about economic policies and judicial policies and do we even care? And the thing that I think disturbs me the most is nobody cares about this. What we want to talk about is whether Donald Trump was bragging about hitting on some female. Nobody wants to talk about $47 million going to family members. Who are these people? And why corporations get 4.9 when colleges are 1.7? And then let's talk about student loans and how you can never get out from underneath them. Even with the bankruptcy, Senator Warren, nobody wants to have these conversations. We want to talk about stupid shit. And if I wanted to really embarrass myself, I could show you my Facebook and the things that my family and my friends want to talk about. You know, like here we go. The Rockettes and the producer says dancers won't be forced to perform. Really? Who the fuck cares about that? Who the fuck cares about that? And it's time for us to really care. You know, I think it was Dr. Seuss. You know, it's such a brilliant quote. I'll kind of close on it. It's probably one of the best quotes ever. You know, he goes, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change until people like you and I start caring. And caring a lot. We the people. I'm going to go take a shower. Maybe I can wash off some of this stuff and maybe I could fall back in love with mammon. You know, in fact, I heard a really good comedian talking about, in his bit, he was talking about somebody who didn't have any money, and he used the words, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I thought, when in America do we shame people for not having money? And yet, when shit like this happens, we think, boy, it's all in your head. You're overthinking shit. You shouldn't fucking care about this. I'm like, yeah, but I do. And then you laugh and you poke your fun, and then you go back on Facebook and you post a picture of your fucking salad and you get 4 likes, and that's why we're all going to be speaking Chinese or saluting some Russian flag someday. You guys be good. Email Americana417@gmail.com. I'd love to know why I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Shoot some optimism into here. I'd love to hear some of that. I'd love for you to tell me how I don't understand, and then back it up with some data. I don't want to debate you. I want to be wrong. I want to see that we're spending billions on homelessness.